Hey guys, welcome to another video of mine. It's Command AA, and this is another video of mine. Thank you for watching, and it's regarding Frank Lampard and Mauricio Sarri. Now, it's going to be an interesting video, this one. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is what I've seen on social media, the blow up, what I've been reading from publications, different outlets, and what I've seen on social media. It's definitely something that I want to talk about because I want to give you guys my thoughts, opinions, but also would it be logical for this to happen. Now, what I'm talking about is Frank Lampard potentially replacing Mauricio Sarri in the future. Now, obviously, everyone's gonna have different thoughts and opinions. That's why the comment section is there. I want you guys to comment down below. Do you think that Frank Lampard should be the potential replacement for Sarri? Do you think that he needs time and then Frank Lampard can take over, or do you want Sarri to be sacked now and Frank Lampard to take over now? But before I do give my thoughts and opinions, obviously there have been a lot of publications reporting this. Now, not only is Frank Lampard a candidate to replace Mauricio Sarri, but Max Allegri, who's officially left Juventus this season at the end of the season, is also a top choice for the running for the job. Now, I find this quite unbelievable. You know, Sarri was set targets at the beginning of the season. His targets were secure Champions League football via the Premier League and get to a Europa League final. He's also got to a Carabao Cup final while transitioning from a defensive to a counter-attacking team to a more attacking, fluid tiki-taka football. And yes, it's been ugly at times. It hasn't been the greatest, but on the whole, it's been a decent season. They could even get even better if we win the Europa League final. So I just believe that, you know, reading reports such as Alfredo Pedro, who is very reliable in breaking out the Mauricio Sarri news, has said, regardless if we win the Europa League, Mauricio Sarri will be sacked. And not only that, Telegraph have reported this, The Guardian have reported this, various Italian sources have reported this, such as Corriere dello Sport, Gazzetta dello Sport, and like other various, Calcio Mercato, other various Italian sources have also reported this. And it got me thinking, with Frank Lampard as a potential replacement, would he be suitable for the job? And that's what I'm here to discuss. Now, regarding Frank Lampard, personally, for me, it's too early, and I'm going to give my valid reasoning for this. Now, the first reason is inexperience. Now, a lot of you are going to be talking about Pep Guardiola or Zizou, Zinedine Zidane, how they had, they were legends of their clubs. They came through, they're managing the youth team. They came to the first team and they blew it up. You can't deny that Zizou in his first spell won the Champions League 3 times in a row, back to back to back. You look at Pep Guardiola, you saw how successful. He's a world-class manager, top manager, but it all started at Barcelona, where he won the Champions League, he won the treble, he won La Liga and Copa del Rey, and he was so successful. That's where he made his name for himself. But people, I think, are falling over this love story that it's going to be the same Frank Lampard. Now, you have to evaluate the situation. You have to look at the situation from a perspective, and personally, I don't think he's ready yet. He's too raw. Now, the reason why I say this, he's never had top flight experience as a manager. He's never ever had Champions League or Europa League experience as a manager. You're saying if he comes to Chelsea, a better squad, it's going to be better. But the inexperience is an issue. And inexperience is a worry for me. It's his first season at Derby as a professional manager. And to manage a club like Chelsea, we're not talking, we're not a mid-table Premier League club. We are Chelsea, a top 6 club, a top 4 club in the Premier League, an elite club in Europe with top players. And you look at our past 15 years, it shows for it, the amount of trophies we've won. We are a top team. And you look at the managers coming into this club in the past, Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, and now Mauricio Sarri. All 3 of those managers have not been backed, and they've had tremendous CVs, being successful in the past. Jose Mourinho winning the Champions League at, Porto, winning countless trophies. He won 8 trophies with Chelsea, and he was successful anywhere he went. Same with Antonio Conte, nearly won the double in his first season, won the Premier League in his first season, won the FA Cup in his following season, won 3 Scudettos in a row at Juventus, and yet the board still didn't back him. Now, obviously, my point about inexperience is an issue, but not only that is, I fear for Frank Lampard that he could potentially tarnish his legacy. And the reason why I say this is, I only want Frank Lampard at the club if we have a proper regime at the football club. And that's the issue I've had for time, the structure of the football club, but more importantly, the regime. We haven't got proper board members, a lack of director of football, the lack of direction for the future, no future or no plan for the youth or no plan for the football club. We haven't got an owner who's uninterested. We've got board members that are simply not fit to be a Chelsea board member, and the club is run so poorly. Look at the last transfers we've made, 2017 in summer. Lack of director of football, and the club has no direction. You think, right, Frank Lampard coming in is going to transform this 11. You look at our squad, the quality is so poor. We have Hazard potentially pretty much leaving. You know, you look at Zidane and Pep Guardiola, one major factor, one massive reason as to why they were successful is because Zizou had Ronaldo. Pep Guardiola had Messi. They had top players. Who's Frank Lampard going to have? Willian is a star man. Come on. The levels are staggering. This ain't it. And the thing with Sarri, like I keep mentioning, he hasn't had a bad season. If anything, if we win the Europa League, it's been a successful season. Carabao Cup final, Europa League final, potentially we will win it. Third place in Champions League when Liverpool and City are miles ahead. And if you think sacking Sarri at this point is logical, then you're delusional. Then you're blown out your mind. I can't save you at this point because what has the man got to do? He's got a squad that is simply not tailor-made to his style of football. He's had to work with players that are not press resistant, they're not ready-made for his system, and he's had to stick with them. You know, get him tactically ready to play against opponents and play his style of football. And he's still got third Champions League football, which was the main target at the start of the season. So I don't understand why it would make sense to sack him. He reached his target. If he didn't reach his target, and we saw top players like Hazard and Kante not thriving, then you could make a case, make an argument that, you know, Sarri is not the correct man for the job and we should sack him. But that's not the case. He's got the best out of Kante. Kante is a world-class player. Not only is he defensively world-class, but he's proven this season that he can score goals, that he can create, that he can run from deep, that he can dribble. Hazard, he's had the statistically best season ever in his career, and it just shows that the top players that are already made for Sarri's system, they thrive in his system. So if we get the players that he needs, fullbacks is a key area because the fullbacks we have, Alonso and Aspi, they bottleneck the system. If we get top fullbacks, if we get a top striker, I promise you this system will thrive, and I promise you we will reach major heights. But more importantly, I want Maurizio Sarri to build the groundworks for Frank Lampard when he does come in the future. A bit like what Ranieri did at Chelsea back in 2003 before Mourinho came. He laid the foundations. He got the squad tailor-made for his football. Frank Lampard likes to play attacking football, attacking style of football, and that's what Maurizio Sarri loves. So they have similar philosophies, and that's the direction the club wants to move in. And I just believe that he needs to lay the foundations, you know, get the squad tailor-made ready. We need a squad capable. We need a board capable, a director of football to, you know, direct the football club in the correct direction. And then Frank Lampard can thrive when he has more experience, when he has another 2-3 years under his belt, whether that's at Derby, whether it's at Bundesliga or top flight football, Premier League football in the next 2-3 seasons. But one advantage with having Frank Lampard to Maurizio Sarri, I must admit, is the youth. Playing the youth. Frank Lampard, he's developed Mason Mount and Fikayo Tomori out on loan at Derby this season. He's done fantastically well, and for me, that's one major advantage around Frank Lampard. If he does come to Chelsea, we know the youth will be played. We know the youth will develop, and that's a major key criticism that Chelsea Football Club have had over the past few years and in its recent successes. You know, we know that Odoi will be playing more minutes. We know Loftus-Cheek, Christensen, you know, we'll have other players coming through the youth. You definitely know it's going to happen because Frank Lampard will play the youth. He will develop the youth. You've got Jody Morris as his number 2 as well, who's pretty much a youth manager for years, and that's part of the reason why Chelsea youth system was so successful, winning the Premier League, the FA Cup, you know, for the under-21s, the under-22s, the under-23s, and I just think that that's the major advantage you're having. But like I said, the thing that worries me is the inexperience. He's had one season at Derby. He needs more experience, and also the current regime we have at this football club, the current structure we have. I just think it wouldn't make logical sense at this moment in time to hire Frank Lampard. You know, like I keep mentioning with Guardiola and Zizou, they had the right structure, they had the right board members, they had a direction of the football club, and they had top players like Ronaldo and Messi. You know, with Hazard potentially leaving, his star man, Willian. I mean, let's be real, it ain't it. It just ain't it. And look, I love Frank Lampard, top goal scorer for Chelsea, absolute legend, one of my favourite players of all time. We know he's a Chelsea legend, one of the biggest players in this football club. But you know, just because you're a quality player doesn't mean that he will get backed. Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, Maurizio Sarri had tremendous, fantastic CVs, and yet they still didn't get backed. How does that make you think Frank Lampard doesn't get backed? Just because he's next legend doesn't mean they're going to back him. That does not mean the case. And because Frank Lampard loves this club so much, he will give his everything, and he won't complain. He won't complain when the signings come in, and it's a big weakness. For me, Frank Lampard's not ready. He's too inexperienced. He needs more managerial experience under his belt, preferably more top-flight football or other leagues, etc. And also, we need a directions football club. We need a director of football, and we need a change in board members. And then I can say Frank Lampard's ready. But first, I want Maurizio Sarri to lay the foundations. I want him to prepare everything. get the squad ready, tailor-made, win a few trophies, be successful at Chelsea, and then Frank Lampard can come in at a team that's ready, that is not in a mess, that's got top players that can ready to perform under Frank Lampard and move in the correct direction in the future. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Frank Lampard situation. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new on here, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Peace.